There are many infallible proofs that demonstrate that the Bible alone is the Word of God. And if the Bible is true, we would be wise to heed its warning of hell and seek its promise of heaven. Do you know which destination awaits you? Most believe heaven. When questioned, nearly everyone proclaims their own goodness.
Lori, would you consider yourself a good person?
Yes.
I'd consider myself a good moral person.
I consider myself as a good person.
Would you guys consider yourselves good moral people?
Yeah. I would, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I consider myself a good moral person.
I tried myself to be a good moral person according to the teachings of my religion.
For the most part, I like to think so.
Most of the time.
Would you consider yourself a good moral person?
Yes, I do. Yes.
I try to be a good person, and I think I'm a good person.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Definitely, yeah.
However, their answers change drastically when compared to the 10 Commandments.
Lied. Yeah, a lot. Used to. I've been a good liar and a bad liar, both. I try not to be a bad liar a lot, though.
So have you lied?
I know I do lie. It's just...
So what is it? What are you?
Liar.
Have you ever told a lie?
Sure.
What does that make you?
A liar?
I've lied.
What would that make you?
That would make me a liar.
Right. Have you ever lied?
Yeah, definitely. I've lied before.
What does that make you?
That makes me a liar. Big fat liar.
Let me ask you, have you ever lied?
Yes.
What does that make you?
A liar?
Have you ever stolen anything?
No.
Paper supplies, computer software,
I haven't stolen
Napster music?
Yes.
Yes, I've stolen something before.
What would that make you?
At that time, it'll make you a thief.
So you've stolen maybe something small.
That's a possibility.
Okay, and someone who steals is a
thief.
So would you consider yourself a lying thief then? Would you consider yourself a thief?
Yeah, I suppose so.
So you're a lying thief?
I'm a lying thief.
I think we could be friends anymore.
Yeah, I guess you could see it that way. But like you said, it's subjective, and I agree with that. I think it's entirely subjective.
Softwares and a lot of... I have listened a lot of music.
So you're stolen?
Without... Yes, it's considered to be a stolen.
Would that make you a thief?
Yeah. That.
Have you ever lied?
Yes.
What would you call yourself then?
Bad person.
If you murder, you would be known as a...
Bad person.
Murder?
A murderer.
If you lie, you would be known as
liar.
So, have you lied?
Yeah.
What would you call yourself?
A liar.
Have you ever stolen anything?
Nope.
Have you ever cheated on a test? If you've stolen something, what does that make you?
I don't really I don't know, it's not like I'm going into the store and ripping the software off the shelf, or putting a gun to somebody and taking the software from them.
So the software producer would consider you a
thief.
The 10 Commandments reveal God's standard for right and wrong. They are so essential that they are the only thing in the entire Bible written by the very finger of God. Have you obeyed God's commandments? The third commandment states, "You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain." Have you ever used your Creator's name as a curse word? If so, then you have likened the one who has given you your life, eyes, family, food, friends, every good thing to a filth word.
Have you ever taken the Lord's name in vain?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What is that called?
Blasphemy?
Blasphemy. So you've blasphemed?
Yeah, it's in human nature to error, so that happens.
What would you call someone who blasphemes?
Blasphemer.
All right. Have you ever used God's name as a curse word?
Yes.
And would you consider yourself a blasphemer then?
I guess I am.
So you wouldn't consider yourself a blasphemer, even though you say his name in vain? Even
Yeah,
though
like-
that's the definition of blasphemy?
Yeah.
So
I guess.
You are a blasphemer.
By definition.
By definition.
Yes, actually I have, because I've taken many tests in my day, and I have said his name in vain. But,
Do you think that offends him?
do I think that offends him? Yes.
Yeah, a lot.
So you would be a blasphemer?
Yeah.
So you're a lying, thieving blasphemer? Have you ever blasphemed? Let me ask you that.
Yes.
So you called your creator a 4-letter curse word?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been blasphemous at times.
Jesus said, "You have heard that it was said to those of old, 'You shall not commit adultery.' But I say to you that whoever looks at a woman to lust for her has already committed adultery with her in his heart. Have you looked with lust?" The Bible even equates hatred with murder. The truth is that we have all broken God's commandments.
So would you agree that hatred in the heart is the source of murder?
Most likely.
Have you ever hated?
Yeah.
10 Commandments are good.
Have you kept them?
Yep. Yeah, for the most part.
Have you ever lied?
I don't lie very often, and when I do, you can tell I'm lying. So.
Have you ever lied?
Have I ever lied? No.
You've never lied?
Not like a big lie or anything.
Have you ever stolen anything?
Yes.
What does that make you?
Thief.
Have you ever taken God's name in vain?
Yes.
So you have used your Creator's name as a curse word?
Yes, but I try not to.
But you've done it?
Yes.
Are you a blaspheming thief?
I sure hope not.
Come on.
No.
No?
Nope.
You just told me you stole.
Because I don't mean to do these things, though, so...
So you're an adulterer, a thief, and a blasphemer. Yes?
Yes.
Does that concern you?
Just a little bit.
Do you believe there's a heaven or a hell?
Yes, I do.
So does it concern you?
Yes, it does.
Have you ever been greedy?
Yes, that doesn't mean that, I can't suppress that, though.
Have you ever lied?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
If you lie, what would that make you?
Liar.
Being selfish?
Being selfish.
So you've been selfish?
Yeah.
Have you ever looked at a woman lustfully?
Yeah.
So you've lusted in your heart?
You get that desire.
Yeah. So you're an adulterer at heart?
In your heart, no, because it's a human nature.
You think God likes it?
No.
No. So you've done that?
Yeah, in my heart, but not showing it.
Sorry, does God see our hearts?
Yeah, of course.
So, according to you, you're a selfish, lying adulterer at heart. Is that correct?
No.
Would you say you're a covetous, lying, thieving adulterer at heart?
I would be covetous, lying, thieving at heart, yeah.
Is that a fearful thing to consider?
Yeah, that's a fearful thing, definitely.
Why? Why do you fear your own nature, your own heart?
I think that if my nature is so bad, and I try really hard, and there's so many people around, then it's a whole human race full of thieves, liars, envious, greedy people.
Have you ever put anything above your Creator, as in your own intentions, or maybe money, or your family, anyone but God? Have you put before God at any time?
No.
So you always put God first?
Yes.
You wake up in the morning and say, God, I'm going to follow you?
I don't actually say that, but
In
I
your
might
heart?
be thinking it sometimes. I don't know.
Okay, so sometimes you might have committed idolatry?
Yeah, I think I have.
So you'd be an idolater?
I'm an idolater too.
Idolater?
Idolater. Yes, I am.
Okay. Now, assuming by your own admission, you're a lying, thieving, covetous fornicator.
Oh my God.
On the day of judgment, if God were to judge you by his righteous standards, would you be innocent or guilty?
Well, it depends. Because I go to church.
By your own admission, you're a lying, adultering, blaspheming idolater. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
Okay.
This doesn't sound too good.
On Judgment Day, if God were to judge you by the Ten Commandments, would you be innocent or guilty based on that standard?
Just based on that?
Based on his 10 Commandments, which we just went through 4 of the 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
Be guilty.
Yeah.
Would you go to heaven or hell?
Well, heaven.
Why?
Because I would go to church and do confession and all that.
If God were to judge me, he probably wouldn't let me in, but I think he has to take into account that I've also done other numerous things. That, you know, you can't go by, like I said before, a strict set of do this, you're getting in, do this, you're not.